If you don't have debt, you can't go bankrupt. I like debt for education. I like debt for real estate. It's great if you can own 20% of an investment property and the bank owns 80% and you get to make money with their money. You get to make money with other people's money. That's amazing. Mr. Gabriel says, hey, Derek, thanks, Rich and Derek, for your time. What do you recommend to an unknown startup business that needs to sell, but also need to acquire feedback to develop its product? How would you apply incentives in this situation? We want to hold off from acquiring funding from investors for now until we have a solid product, but it seems like we're in a gray zone. I mean, it depends what you're doing, man. Obviously, there's a whole lot of different paths that a person could have here, and a lot of them lead to bankruptcy and insolvency, and a few of them lead to tremendous success. And I don't. There's a whole segment in this course later about entrepreneurial finance, and you're going to learn a lot about entrepreneurial finance. It's quite useful. However, I'm not so stuck on raising capital from others. I don't have my business has zero debt. I have no debt. I don't like having a lot of debt. If you don't have debt, you can't go bankrupt. I like debt for education. I like debt for real estate. If you have investment properties, it's great if you can own 20% of an investment property and the bank owns 80% and you get to make money with their money. You get to make money with other people's money. That's amazing. In the stock market, it's great to have a margin account, and you can't get carried away with your margin account or you'll be in trouble, but it's nice to have that opportunity and that optionality. In business, it's okay to have, you don't mind having like debt for investments that make you money, but there's a lot of things you can do in business. You don't have to have any debt. You don't have to have a business partner. You can do it yourself. You can do it yourself. So don't feel like you have to do that. Maybe it makes sense to, and maybe it doesn't. I don't know the specifics of your situation, but maybe it makes sense and maybe it doesn't. But don't feel like you have to go raise money. Depends on the nature of your business. Ahmed says, hey, Derek, thank you for bringing these great guests. I recently had a business opportunity with someone, but something just didn't feel right, and I ended up saying no, one of my first times doing so. What is bothering me is that I'm not 100% sure why I said no. Seems like the other person was good and had integrity, and it could have been a good opportunity with little time involvement from me. But I felt there could be high liabilities and small things I didn't like. My question is, how much value should somebody who's still starting out on his journey trust his gut feeling on business decision versus writing everything on paper? And if on paper it makes sense, go with it despite the gut feeling. I don't write a lot of things down at all. I write very little stuff on paper or in a computer. I write very few notes. I do sit around and reflect on things. I do that before bed. I do that when I wake up. I make very few notes. But to get to your core question is like, your gut feeling is a human, me and you and everybody else. A human has a propensity to be a lazy. A human has a propensity to want to do not much, to have, make about enough effort to like eat and have a halfway comfortable, living experience, and then slack off a lot after that. So, I don't want to tell you don't follow your gut ever, but when I hear people use this emotional language of like, something in my gut told me, I'm like, all right, maybe there's, 5% wisdom to that. I like to make logical decisions because, what a human feels? A human doesn't feel like doing hard shit. And the humans that do the hard shit get the highest rewards. So if you're trying to do something that's against a human nature to make yourself do things that are more difficult, more complex than other humans could possibly do, and you have to be smarter than them, and you have to be harder working than them, and you have to do that consistently, and you have to do it for a period of time. And if you make emotional decisions instead of logical decisions, you'll never, ever, ever, ever be smarter or harder working or do it consistently over a long period of time. It's not possible. You wouldn't do those things. That's what's necessary to win. So if you want to be emotional instead of logical, you can't win. You just stay poor and dumb. Just stay poor and dumb. That said, once in a while I talk to somebody and I may make a little note in my head is like, I don't like that guy. I don't trust that person. I don't want anything to do with them. That's usually an integrity-based decision. That's usually is like, I feel like, this person's lying to me about something. I don't like it. No. And I don't need any more information. I don't need any more information than that. If I feel like somebody's lying to me, I'm just like, no. But I don't make emotional decisions either. I think to myself, what can I do that other people are too dumb and too lazy to do? And that's the new path forward. What are the things that I could do that'd be highly rewarded for that other people are too dumb and too lazy? Go do that. But you got to do it consistently. You got to do it especially when you don't feel like doing it. So your feelings. Nobody cares about I don't care at all about your feelings. None of you. I don't give a fuck about any of your feelings. I do care about your long-term outcomes. I don't care at all about your short-term feelings. I don't care if you cry while you listen to this, but I do care about your long-term outcomes. So I want to talk to you about the things that would help you be very successful over time and more successful than you probably think you can. More successful than you probably think you can be. Some people are confused. They say, Derek, what is the 10 Commandments of Wealth? Not the 10 maybes of wealth. It's the 10 core things that you're going to need to know about in detail if you'd like to accumulate significant wealth in your lifetime. Click this link up here to find more information, exactly what is the 10 Commandments of Wealth, how is the program structured, what's inside of it, how are you going to benefit from it. If you're doing well already and you'd like to do better, click that link and find out more. There's over 100 hours of content in this program. I've interviewed dozens of world champions that shared what it took for them to win, to be the top Hall of Fame athletes in their respective areas. And I brought a lot of other superstars in there from business, people that are real world entrepreneurs that made serious money, as I have myself. We all share with you what are the foundations you're going to need to know if you want to be successful yourself. Be a chooser, not a loser. Leave a comment if you want a business or success question answered, and subscribe for even more winning.